Hey everyone. So today I am really excited to be able to show you how to quickly look up your local candidates using Civio. I actually used this last week when we had our early voting here in the state of Georgia. So it was very helpful, and hopefully you will be able to use it as you head to the polls on Tuesday, I think, in Georgia. And I know there are many voting elections going on across the country. So hopefully this is a tool that you'll be able to use nationwide. So if you've ever felt like heading to the polls and it was really hard and unclear to find information on the actual candidates, this tool is really going to help you with that. And the way that I designed it is so that you can find information and really understand clearly who's running in your area, and also make it a part of a whole process for you to make it easier to understand who matches your values and who you'd like to represent you. So let's jump in. I am currently on the Civio Hub page, which serves as like your home page, right? When you sign up and get an account, you will get a customized homepage such as this. And as you can see, there's things where you can figure out if you're registered, your deadlines, any candidates that you reviewed, any news feeds, or your representatives will be there. But what I want to show you today is how I use my Civio Self feature and my civic identity quiz that I took when I onboarded, and how this is going to help me really locate and find those candidates that match my actual civic values. Not just party lines, but what are my values? And these are just some of the things that I put in, justice, integrity, honesty. There are some non-negotiables that I feel that are part of my values as a citizen. So I also have those here in my app. I have things that I am civically concerned about. Civio is really great for, that customized, civic value and who you are as, a citizen here, to be able to align what you want out of your candidate. And if you want to dive deeper, we won't do that today, but you can also, look at what your core values are, biases, any triggers, what your action plans might be, and your personal mission. I really think these are a few areas where I think each of us really need to dig a little bit deeper and really state what we want out of our democracy and out of our elected officials. We really don't take time a lot. I know we rely on media and clips, things of that nature, which is super helpful. But I think where we are now in our country, it is very important that we all really focus on those areas. So, what Civio does is take these values, and when I go into the candidate feature, it's going to match me with who ranks highest on my value list. So, as you can see, I already started a few, and I left these here purposely because I wanted to do this video, but you should be able to see who was listed in the upcoming election. So the first thing that I will do is click Match Me, and it's going to generate matches based on those civic concerns and values that I showed you previously. And we'll just give it a second to load. And I've already entered my state and my county, so that's why you see the local candidates at the bottom. And here it is, voila. So what Civio does is it brings up all of the candidates that I match with on a higher ranking as far as my values. And right now it has Miracle Rankin as the highest person that represents my personal values. Now, again, it doesn't say which party she's a part of. And I believe she's not running for any, she's running for Supreme Court and not, a state seat or anything like that. But these elections are equally as important. I think local elections are just as valuable. Okay. So now that I know who is listed as the highest candidate for me to match with, I'm going to go down and I've already saved her. But what Civia already does is dive a little bit deeper. So I pull up Michelle Rankin, and I'm just using her as an example. She's running for Supreme Court here in Georgia. Nonpartisan is how she's listed. And it gives me a full profile where I can choose to do an analysis deep dive on her political views, her voting record, which wouldn't be a legislative voting record, but any donors, conflicts of interest, controversies. I mean, just a whole list. I'm not going to go through all of these because I think once you get in, you can customize and dig as deep as you want to in any of these candidates. But one feature that I use for this is to enrich her AI profile. So I like clicking on this because it's going to pull up some recent news cycles that she has recently been on, any stories that she's related to, and also her record down here. And, it gives her highlights in green that she has leadership in legal community and really goes through her advocacy for civil liberties, which I feel very strongly matches with what I'm looking for in a candidate. And if you wanted to reach out to her office or visit her website, it's also here in Civio. So that is just a quick tutorial on how to find your candidate. And the other thing I wanted to highlight really quickly is because I felt that once I looked at her record, she was a very strong candidate that I felt like really matched with what I am looking for. So I clicked on My Civic Signal, and Civio gives you an opportunity to really sort through, a candidate by absolutely not. This candidate has no ethical accountability whatsoever. Then there's a neutral sign. What if you're on the fence about someone? You want to do a little bit more research. You can give them an undecided or a blue signal, which pretty much represents, yes, this candidate is the one I want to vote for. So when I get to the polls, I am going to lock her in, right? And I gave Michelle, a blue because I felt like she definitely matched with what I'm looking for in a candidate and in on the Supreme Court. A few other features I want to show is that Civio does have a pro option if you want to like save your ballot and put everyone on there. That is like a $3.99 fee for a month if you want to go pro and really log everything. If not, you can also just log your ballot here and find your local polling place just in case it's changed, or you just want to make sure you have the updated information. I just wanted to walk you guys through that. I hope this will be helpful. This tool is phenomenal, and it has decreased for me any kind of confusion that I had. I've gotten so many mailers this cycle, and I just dove right in to really make sure that I'm voting for those who represent my values. So, all right, I'm going to end it here, and hopefully I can come back and dive a little bit deeper with more tutorials on how to do this. So, all right, have a good one. Bye.